Okay,
Welcome
we're
to the
gonna have to redo
KCU.
that
I'm your
one.
host, Ace. We're
Go
gonna
ahead,
have to
cut,
change that one,
cut
aren't
on the
we?
set, cut.
Um, cut this. No. And this is my co-host here, Minion. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It took you mental delay. Then we have our guest here, Stocky Harbour. Say hi.
Hello, hello. I said 3 times happy.
Why are you guys like so nervous and delayed? Ease up.
We're not delayed.
Anyways, Stocky,
Yes.
there you are. Okay. Anyways, all right. Would you like to tell us your story of how you got into KF1 first?
Um, so we start all the way back in summer 24. I was in Vortex, as most people start, I think. The easiest team to join. And I was just kind of like figuring out like what is this KF1? Why? How? Who's the best driver? Who's like, I was watching the races, and during this time, I was specifically cheering for Turfsy. Turfsy is my idol. He's like I'm like a fan of Turfsy. As most people would be fans of other drivers, I was a fan of Turfsy. Was watching his races, watching him fumble round 4 of that season. And that's I really want to drive in KF1. And so at the same time, I also discovered the unofficial leagues, which are now gone. But at the time, there was a KF2, a KF3, and a KF4. And
Rest in peace.
despite being all mostly like the same skill level, there was like kind of like a ladder system, sort of. Not really, but um, I drove in KF4 for a bit, quite a bit, really. And around this time, the owner of Crest Motorsport in KF2, Snipu, he asked me if I wanted to drive in KF2 because he'd seen my KF4 results, which were pretty good. I was fighting for a championship at that time. So he signed me for for season 2 of KF2. During this time, Crest was sixth in the championship in a 10-team constructors championship. They were sixth, which wasn't good. They weren't having the best results, and their best driver at the time had just left the team. So they signed me, fill in. Me and Tom Millen, we were locked in for that season. Um, the first round, I managed to finish in third, battling for the win with now Stratos driver Haguin. Um, then after that really great result, round 2 was even better. I started on pole position, fumbled the start a bit, but I was still in the battle with uh, Scoobigan, now the F1 Chantal Motorsport driver Dan, and then Haguin. We're all battling for P P1, and then I crashed. I flipped on the bridge. It was at PFI, so not the best result there. Round 3 wasn't much better because I had a terrible start, but I managed to claw myself up to P5. And then round 4, I completely missed the race. It was Francia Corta, so maybe there's like a string of bad luck with Francia Corta and me missing the races.
You just like
But
sleeping during
final,
France.
yeah, it's just Francia. The final round though, me and Tomlin, we had a mission. We had to finish in second in the championship because Tomlin was actually finishing on the podiums during the races. He had kept us in second, but after that last race, new team, Bolt Academy, the junior team of Blue Bolt Motorsport, had taken second from us, and they were only a couple points ahead. Now they had possible KF1 drivers, Ryder and Zavi, but due to a string of bad luck and unfortunate events, they just aren't here at the moment. Um, yeah, it was basically us four fighting against each other during the race. Round 5, me, Tomlin versus Ryder and Zavi, and then also there was another driver, possible KF1 prospect, if not for unfortunate events, Roberto. He
What
was,
was the fortunate events?
I mean, I can get into that a bit later, just after I finish this
Yeah,
race.
okay.
Roberto,
Yeah.
very quick, really quick actually, possibly one of the quickest drivers, also the youngest drivers in KF2. Wasn't very consistent, but he was really quick, so challenging that race. I ended up finishing
Okay, yeah,
second.
like a young Max Verstappen.
Yeah, basically like a young Max Verstappen. Um, I ended up finishing second, which is great, and then Tomlin managed to finish in P3. So we ended up taking second in the championship, which was amazing. And then during this time, the champion, Scoobigan, he raced for Holden Motorsport and had just become their manager. So he wanted me on his team. On Holden was also Roberto. So we were teammates, which was great, but merely 2 races into the champ, and our team was banned because of the other basic co-owner, Mr. Peely, who I don't actually know exactly what he did, but somehow he did something to get the entire team banned. And this was what caused Roberto to stop racing and the end of possibly KF1 like career. Like he could have been a KF1 driver at this point. Very sad.
He never went to KF1, like in the
No,
official
he
league.
stopped. He never went to KF1.
Why not? Do you ever like ask why?
No, he's gone now. I don't know what happened, but he's doing something else. Probably better than
Oh,
getting his team banned or getting banned because of his team. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
Okay, is that it?
no, I'm still going.
Is there
Anyways,
more?
yeah, there's way more. I don't know
There's a
what you're
lot
talking about.
more. Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
why I
god.
said I should.
Okay.
Anyways, um, so as well, Xavi, who was Bolt Academy driver, he just stopped racing. I think just because he didn't really feel like it anymore. And then Ryder he's on Shentalon now, but he hasn't raced yet because of confidence. I think that's what it is. I keep telling him he's good enough to drive, but he doesn't want to drive.
Yeah.
Anyways, um, so because my team Holden was banned, I had to join another team, and so I decided to join 86 Motorsport. At the time, 86 Motorsport, which is under KF Racing, they had won season one, but their season two was absolutely abysmal. And both teams were now like the worst teams on the grid. But I joined 86 Motorsport. Now on 86 Motorsport, my teammate would be Mickey. So basically, this is how me and Mickey started our like really good friendship with at 86 Motorsport. And during season four, we led a title fight with a new team called Highside Racing. Anyways, went to the final round. Highside Racing, their driver Zenaroki, who's now my teammate at Fulke, he was
Um,
fighting with me for the championship. Now, Mickey was able to finish second during this race, so he took the championship, and he also managed to get 86 Motorsport in front of Highside in the championship. One of the best finishes in the KF2 like lifespan, basically. Also during this time, I was racing. I was still racing in KF4. KF3 was sort of like I don't really know why, but KF4, I was still racing there, and I managed to win a championship, which was great. Now, in between now and well, in between like those two seasons, I managed to join Niche for spring 2025, the KF1 season, as kind of like a reserve driver, which is how I raced in round two of that season and scored my first points on debut. Um, it was a good showing, but I knew if I needed to leave Niche because Jack, the ownership at the time, they were not really good. So I knew I had to leave Niche, and I was thinking which team should I join. So I wanted to join Shentalon for summer 25. At the same time, I also knew I wouldn't be good enough to make the main like lineup because there's already really good and there's already a whole bunch of other really good drivers on the team that were probably better than me. So I had to prove myself in some way. And that's when I joined GKC. And specifically, instead of joining Shentalon's own branch in that league, I decided to join Fusion Sport because I knew if I could beat Shentalon, then they would put me on the main lineup in KF1. So I won round one, won round two, missed round three, won round four, which is actually where I beat Leicester at Mansell. Fun fact. And then round five, I won both heat one, heat two. But in the final heat, which was worth all like the marbles, I had two terrible crashes at Buckmore and lost the championship on the final round to Gabsy.
That is a
But and
tragic story.
yeah, very tragic. You also beat me in that race, Minion. So,
Yeah.
anyways, summer 25 was kind of like my breakthrough, sort of. The first race, I qualified P3, and then actually fought for the lead in like the opening laps with Mal, and Mal sort of like fell back. But I was still with Leafster at the front, and across the line, I was 0.075 seconds behind Leafster. But as I said earlier, I think I said earlier, um, I don't know if I said earlier. Anyways, as I said, um, I probably said this before. I went wide on the final lap, which, due to the terrible corner cutting system, made me drop back to P4 instead of being P2, which sucked a lot. But anyways, missed round two because of some other reasons. Round three, the Apex shootout race was really good. I was fighting for top positions the entire time. And then qualifying for the main race, I qualified on pole position, which is definitely the highlight of the season. Then I proceeded to fumble the start because I didn't keep my tire temps up, and then finished in P5, which sucked. But anyways, round four, also not a great race. I ended up losing out to sixth place because Minion and me were fighting the entire time. Well, majority of the time. But yeah, he finished P6. And then final round, I was in fifth, but there was also a battle for fifth, which isn't the first time we've seen this with a Shentel Motorsport driver. And last. Um, but I finished P10. All the other drivers fighting ended up DNFing, and I kept the position, which is good. It's like the best season for a Champlain Motorsport driver in like since 2022, probably. But yeah, and then that leads us to FLK signing me, the very traumatic events happening at FLK, including possibly the biggest crash of the year when I double flipped on the bridge at PFI. But yeah, that's basically
That's
my
it.
story.
All right. Anything to add, Minion?
Um, not really. No, he beat me in almost
I think
every
that's it.
race. Yeah.